Welcome back everyone to the Fourth Dimension channel. My name is Matty and I'm here once again with Nico.
What's good, boys?
And in today's video we are going to give you guys some helpful advice on how to deal with pressure fighters. Now, pressure fighters are very hard to deal with if you don't know how to properly counter that sort of playstyle. So we are going to go over how to defend and how to put out your own offense while fighting a pressure fighter. Let's jump straight into it with Nico giving us the first tactic.
Alright guys, the first tactic we are going to use is intercepting the opponent with short 2-punch combinations, as he is pressuring forward with 4-punch combinations. This will help you to interrupt your opponent's pressure by hit stunning him mid-combination. We're gonna show you how this looks like now. As you can see, my opponent is advancing with 4-piece combinations, while I am timing a jab rear hook to hit stun him and at the same time deal damage. We are going to give you a couple more short 2-punch combinations that you can use in this scenario.
Straight followed by a lead uppercut. Jab, lead hook. Straight followed by a lead hook. Jab, uppercut. So as you guys just saw, this is an effective way of punishing pressure fighters that constantly try to overwhelm you with combinations. Just remember to time it either when they are in mid combination or just as they are about to throw. The next tactic we are going to go over is head movement. So head movement is another way to discourage pressure fighters. If you use it effectively, it will drain your opponent's stamina and give you openings to deal some serious damage. To use head movement effectively, you have to be aware of what your opponent is throwing, and more specifically, what strike they end their combinations with. This will ensure that you do not run into a hook or an uppercut, because if you do, most of the time it's a flash KO or a critical rock due to the high vulnerability you have while using head movement. So as you guys can see in this example, I noticed that my opponent likes to end these combinations with a round strike. So what I am simply going to do is pull back as I see the hook coming and counter with my own rear hook or throw the rear uppercut. Now let's see what to do when your opponent is ending their combination with a straight punch. So as you can see in this example, I noticed that my opponent likes to end these combinations with a straight punch. So what I simply do is perform a slip straight or a slip hook. I like to slip to the outside of my opponent's rear hand, as this will provide the best angle for your strike to land clean and do some serious damage. But what if your opponent likes to throw overhands? Well, do not make the mistake of pulling back on it, as the overhand will still track you and land. To counter the overhand properly, you have to slip to the outside of your opponent's rear hand or duck as you see the overhand coming. And remember guys, you don't always have to counter off every single successful slip or duck. Sometimes it's better just to make your opponent whiff and drain their stamina, as this will discourage your opponent to pressure.
Okay, so now we are going to move into the next way of dealing with a pressure fighter. In this example, we are going to use kicks to keep our opponent at bay. The first kick we are going to start with is the tip kick to the body. When you notice your opponent wants to pressure, you can simply plant your feet and fire a stationary tip kick to the body. This will drain your opponent's stamina and deal damage to the body. Also, it will make it harder for them to close the distance and pressure you. Another way you can use the body tip kick is while moving forward. Simply feint a jab and fire the body tip kick to push back your opponent. This will create a lot of breathing space for you, where you can reset and regain your composure. Alright, we are going to move into the next kick, which is the body side kick. You can use the body side kick in the same ways you use the body tip kick. So when your opponent is trying to pressure and close the distance, time a stationary body side kick, just like the tip kick. This will make it harder for your opponent to close the distance and pressure you. But the best way to use the body side kick when your opponent is trying to pressure you is to pair it with a jab. So while moving forward, simply throw the jab body side kick combo. Another kick you can use to deal with a pressure fighter is the front kick to the head. This is effective because if you time it as your opponent is coming in with a big strike, or if he is mid combination, you will catch him when he's at high vulnerability, which will deal a lot of damage and rock or even knock down your opponent. Another kick you can use is the spinning kick to the body or the jumping spinning kick to the body. These two are pretty similar due to the fact that they both require a similar timing. We are going to show you this now. So you want to time the kick as your opponent is moving forward with a strike. That's the most effective way to use the kick because it will catch him at high vulnerability. This will help negate a pressure style of fighting due to the amount of damage you can deal with this method.
Also guys, if you can use the push into a spin kick to the body, you will also be able to combo it with a jab. So what I mean by that is, if your fighter can combo the push into a spin kick, they will automatically have the jab into spin kick as well. So that's how you use kicks effectively to discourage pressure fighters. Now let's talk about movement and how you can use it to create some space and room for you to reset during the fight. To use movement effectively against pressure fighters, you will have to combine all the tools we have given you so far, and by implementing them all together you can really discourage a pressure style of fighting. So as you guys can see in this example, I will combine the teep kick method with head movement to create distance and circle the octagon. Also, you can set up yourself at specific striking ranges to be one step ahead of your opponent and make him whiff. This is otherwise known as footsies or distance management. I know that my opponent likes to stay in boxing range, so I will set up myself just outside of boxing range. As my opponent comes in with strikes, I will move back slightly, which will cause my opponent to whiff. This will also drain your opponent's stamina, as whiffing has a heavy tax on stamina. Okay guys, so hopefully with all these new tools that we have given you today, you will be able to implement them into your own playstyle and have much more success when you face a pressure fighter. That's all for today's video. Hit that like button if you enjoy these tips, subscribe for more useful tips and tricks, and remember, practice makes perfect. Peace everyone.
Stay safe everyone, watch out for the coronavirus, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.